Alright guys, I'm back with another Boogie video. I know, at this point people are probably sick of hearing about that fat. But this whole situation just got 10 times crazier, with Boogie being the most unhinged I think I've ever seen him.
I bet you! I bet you, Dan! I bet you!
Last time we looked at Boogie, he was fired from LOLcow live on air for faking cancer, and ended up self-harm baiting with like a fucking butter knife.
No, he wants me to. He told me to, right?
No.
So I guess the idea was that LOLcow Live would continue on without Boogie, but that just doesn't seem to be the case, as Keemstar seems to have some sort of strange hold on Boogie, telling him that he was banned from social media and would be required to go on the show to go through a series of like humiliating punishments, like getting the tattoo liar on his forehead and reading abusive super chats. There were also plans for Boogie to come on the show to respond to allegations of him faking childhood abuse, which I'm going to talk more about in a little bit because it's a bit of a tricky one, but this sent Boogie into a complete panic mode and he was once again suicide baiting. He had a massive meltdown before his scheduled appearance that resulted in Keem actually needing to call the police. I'm gonna let the clip play out of Keem's account of this story because this whole thing is actually insane.
Here it is Sunday, where me and my girl were just sitting on the deck, relaxing and, you know, having a good, peaceful Sunday. And I get a message from kid behind the camera. He goes, yo, Boogie's trying to get a hold of you. And I did see I had a missed call from Boogie. And so I called kid behind the camera. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, Keem, honestly, I don't know. He goes, Boogie called me and he says he wants to call you and I have to be on the phone as a witness. And I'm like, this is weird. What the f is happening, right? So this piques my interest. I call Boogie. No answer. Whatever. Go on with my day. About 10 minutes later, I get a call from Boogie. And he's huffing and puffing on the phone. Like he's hyperventilating. Mike's on the other line. So it's the three of us, me, kid behind the camera, Mike, and Boogie. And Boogie goes, you are not going to talk about my sexual abuse on the show. And I go, well, I mean, people are canceling you for this. Don't you want to address? You are not going to do it. And he's losing his mind, screaming and yelling. Within about like 5 minutes of this conversation, I tell Boogie, fine, I won't bring it up. But Wings might bring it up. And then he lost it. He wouldn't let anyone else talk. He wouldn't let anyone else speak. I couldn't get a word in. And he hangs up the phone on me and Mike and starts FaceTiming me, okay? He starts FaceTiming me. And it got so scary that I hit record, and I didn't actually record this part. But what Boogie did on FaceTime to me was so insane. He was screaming and yelling. He has a bottle of pills, and I don't know what kind of pills they are, but he's putting them in his mouth, right? And he's acting like he's gonna eat them, and he's punching himself in the head, and then he's grabbing hunks of hair and pulling out hunks. I'm telling you, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is after the head of hair. Now, remember, this is a FaceTime, and I'm screen recording it on my phone, so there's no audio. But can you see that? What happens next is even more frightening. I call kid behind the camera and I say, hey, is he telling you he's gonna kill himself? And kid goes, yeah, because he's calling both of us back and forth and texting and all this shit. And I'm like, should I do it, Mike? Should I call the cops on him? And Mike's like, yeah, I think you're gonna have to. So I did. I called the cops on him and I waited for some time to go by, probably about 10 minutes. I ignored every text, every phone call, right? And I call him and I get on the phone with him and he's on speaker. And he's just huffing and I'm gonna kill myself, I'm gonna kill myself. His girlfriend is in the background, absolutely terrified. His roommate is in the background, absolutely terrified. I go, am I on speaker? And he goes, yeah. And I go, can your girlfriend hear me? And he goes, yeah. I go, do you hear how scared your girlfriend is? He goes, I don't care. She won't have to live with someone who faked cancer. And just, dude. So I go, Boogie, you need to calm down right now. Because I told him before the cops came, Wings, I said, Boogie, you need to calm down right now because the cops are on their way to your house. I had to call in a wellness check because of these threats. Calm down for the cop coming, right? He goes, oh, thank God you called the cop. I'm going to have the cop shoot me in the head. I'm going to have the cop shoot me in the head, or as soon as that walks into my door, I'm going to hit the cop and I'm going to spend 3 days in county jail. These are things he actually said to me. These are things that actually were said to me. So I am freaking out, Wings. Like, I'm not like, this is not content. This is bad. So now, at this point in the story, Wings, I'm terrified. Maybe I made the wrong call. Maybe I shouldn't have called the cops. Because in my head, based on what Boogie's saying, he's going to try to do suicide by cop. He's going to go attack the cop and get shot in the head. So I'm on speaker and trying to calm him down. And I'm like, just stop say yelling and screaming. The cop's gonna be here anymore. Calm down, Boogie. And I hear the cop come in and I'm on speaker with him and he opens the door. He goes, stay away from me. Stay away from me. Starts screaming at the cop. I literally couldn't take it. I was having such a panic attack listening to this conversation that I literally had to hang up.
Oh, why'd you record that? That's fucking gold.
Because I'm not thinking this is content. I'm not thinking I need to record this. I'm not thinking any of this stuff. I'm thinking, oh my God, Boogie's about to die and it's all gonna be my fault. So then there's a 15-minute period of hell where some ordinary gamers, kid behind the camera, and myself cannot get a hold of Boogie, cannot get a hold of Boogie's girlfriend, and we feel like this is dead. And I'm just terrified. And then I'm calling him, no answer. Mike's calling him. And then he shoots me a text. Hey, can you call me later? And I'm like, I didn't have to call him later because he called me. He called me and he's like, are you happy? Are you happy? I go, are you happy? You just scared your girlfriend half to death. She's 21 years old, right? She doesn't have the life experience that you have. And you're telling her, screaming at her, you're going to kill yourself. And so I tell him, Boogie, you're not coming on the show. All right. I'm not going to have you come on the show. And all of a sudden, Mike gets on the line, right? And he goes, let me get Mike in here. Let me get Mike in here. So Mike gets back on the line. So now it's me, Mike, and Boogie once again on the line. And he's doing the suicide baiting thing. I want to die. I want to die. You don't understand. I'm going through crisis. I'm going through crisis right now. I can't deal with this. And you're going to talk about my rape. You're going to talk about my abuse. I go, Boogie, stop. I've already told you long before the cops got called that I wasn't going to. You're doing all this for nothing. No, you're going to do it. You're going to have Destiny come on and confront me about my... And I go, I've had enough of this. I go, listen here, you piece of shit. I go, you are off the show. You are not coming on the show. If you're suicidal like you say you are, it would be irresponsible for me to have you on the show. For the first time, Wings, this stopped screaming and stopped selling and stopped yelling and was calm.
No, you said it right. You said it right.
Yeah.
He's selling you a product.
And he was calm as a... And he goes, no, I'm good to do the show. I can do the show. I just don't want to talk about the rape. That's when I knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that he was playing me and he was manipulating me. Manipulating me into the point of thinking that this guy might actually die. Manipulating me to the point where I had to call the police for a wellness check. This master manipulator, this actor, was literally just trying to control the conversation.
Absolutely insane shit, but I'm honestly not surprised. The thing I think I dislike most about this whole story is that Boogie is like putting this bullshit on his roommate and girlfriend. I know we've ragged on Boogie's child bride girlfriend a fair bit here on the channel, but in all seriousness, this girl genuinely has some sort of psychological issue, and being around Boogie, who is acting like this, is going to fuck her up even more. Genuinely sad situation. But yeah, the whole thing about the abuse is someone made like a thread of all the inconsistencies in Boogie's retelling of his childhood trauma, and Boogie absolutely refused to come on the show to acknowledge it. But spoiler alert, that's exactly what happened. Boogie joins in the call, acting all sad and depressed, and definitely in a manic state. Why he wouldn't discuss the thread was brought up, and he ended up freaking out and he was just screaming.
But you told me privately the reason why some of the stories, and I'm not going to leak anything, don't worry, but you told me why some of the stories are inconsistent and they don't match up.
Yes.
Why don't you just tell the audience?
I don't want to destroy a human life. Because I don't want to destroy someone's fucking life. Because I don't want to destroy somebody's life. Because I don't want to destroy somebody's life. Because I don't want to destroy somebody's life.
Okay.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You just said here.
I'll destroy mine all day. And my dad is dead. And my mom is dead. I'll talk about those pieces of shit till they're alive.
Yeah, but Chad and Dizzy aren't dead.
Alive. I will not. We've talked about it. We made an agreement, and I'm not going to do that for internet clout. I'm not going to do that so the Keemstar can jerk off to it. No, thank you.
Wings continues asking him shit, and like Keem tells him to back off a bit and tells Boogie to say what's on his mind, to where he starts screaming that he wants to die and how he was sexually abused by his parents and he keeps hitting himself. This shit is absolutely insane. Boogie should not be on fucking live stream right now.
You're on a lot of medicine, Boogie. Is any of those medicines an SSRI?
Go yourself. I will divulge no more medical information to any of you.
This is, you don't got to tell me what it is. There's a bevy of medicine.
Yourself. Go yourself.
So because you need to be on an SSRI.
Bro,
because, like,
just stop.
you should not have this
Wings, stop. Just stop. We got to handle this with kid gloves. Wings, you're playing bad cop a little too hard. Boogie, why don't you just take the mic and say what you want to say about this whole situation?
God, I'm so happy. I hate this. I hate it. I hate this show. I hate breathing air. I hate being alive. I'm so much pain. I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand this. I can't stand this. I ruined my fucking life. I just want to be on here.
But you haven't.
Just stop. Wings, shut up. Let's just give the guy a minute. I don't sit here and just live in this negative world, right?
I do. Turns out I'm mentally ill. Turns out my brain is my worst enemy. I wake up every day in miserable
hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
My goddamn earphones.
Stop hitting yourself.
One here that works left.
Wings, I have to hang up on him if he hits himself.
Please don't.
Boogie is the one who has continued to bring this shit up for years about his parents and sister, with many inconsistencies in his story. But now he's freaking out over the fact that he has to answer for these inconsistencies, leaving many to speculate that this is actually a lie. Now, I just want to say right now, this is something that no one can really prove is true or a lie, so the best people have to go on is Boogie's word, which has a track record of not being the most credible source. But yeah, honestly, this shit is just disturbing, and my honest thoughts are something definitely happened to this guy for him to turn out like this. Throughout this whole stream, when Boogie starts freaking out too much, Keem starts giving him like these positive affirmations, I guess in an attempt to calm him down, but this does not work at all.
those things.
We have 19,000 real viewers here. This is not botted.
We have 10 million. I don't care. The only thing I care about in the world is not being in miserable pain. That's all I want. That's all I want. I want to wake up tomorrow not in miserable pain. That's all I want. The 10 million, 20 million, 5 million watchers won't do that.
How's your weight doing? How's your weight doing right now?
It's down because I'm on a medication that I can no longer afford, by the way, but I've lost 24 pounds on the piece of shit, but I get to cut it all back on because I don't have the money.
Let's go. Guys, he lost 24 pounds. 24 pounds.
I get to put it right back on.
Congratulations, buddy. 24 is a big deal.
Put it right back on.
No, you're not going to put it on. You lost it. Good job.
It was the medication that did it. I'm gonna look at it.
That's good.
It's bad. How's it good that I can't afford the medication? How's it good? How's it good that I can't afford the medication?
You lost
How's that
24
good?
pounds. You lost
I'm
24
gonna put it right back on.
Why are you saying that? Why are you instantly...
Because I can't afford the medication. Because I can't afford the medication. Because I can't afford the medication.
Why can't you afford the medication?
Because I lost my fucking job.
Kim then moves on to discussing the punishments for Boogie. Now, Boogie's supposed to be fired, he isn't even supposed to be on the show at all, but I guess Kim is just basically forcing him to be on the stream for free to go through like a variety of these humiliating punishments. He then informs Boogie that if he got a tattoo that said liar on his forehead, he would allow him to come back on the show. And Boogie's just more than willing to go and do this.
Wings, I don't like how he responded to that. This should be something that you don't want to do. And you're just like, fine, I'll do it.
I feel like he's in a position where he needs the money enough to do it. That's why I said
I just don't care. I'll just do whatever I'm told. I don't care.
See, I don't like that. Now you make me look like a piece of shit. Wait, stop calling the tattoo place. Oh my God.
You guys fit me in today?
He's going to do it right now?
Okay, what about in the morning? I just need to get the word. I just need to get the word liar tattooed in my face.
But it does not end there at all. Muda and Medica join the call and the conversation turns towards the sexual abuse that Boogie suffered from his parents. Now, honestly, I'm not completely comfortable going too much into this, plus I don't even think it's like YouTube TOS safe. As I said earlier on, I think something definitely did happen to Boogie as a child. I mean, look at this fucking guy. There's like no way it didn't. And honestly, it just feels wrong that this whole conversation was streamed live. I don't know, whole thing just makes me really uncomfortable. The things that Boogie is claiming happened and how much detail he goes into is honestly vile. It's clear that he's not in the right mental state to be doing this, and I think shame on Keem for letting this go down. There was no reason that this stream needed to happen. In saying that, there are a couple of highlights I do want to mention from all of this though. There is this one moment where Boogie is telling this really fucked up thing that his mum did to him, and Keem literally bursts out in laughter like a fucking child.
She would grab my and twist them as well, and she would stomp. Yeah.
Is that really malicious other than just being abusive?
It was designed to. It was in sexual of nature. It was sexual of nature because she was punishing me for having erections and things along that lines.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yep. It was sexual in nature because, you know.
Later on in the call, when Boogie starts talking about it again, Kim has to refrain from laughing because, and I quote, he's not mature enough to deal with this type of subject matter.
I accidentally laughed at something you said, and I shouldn't have laughed, and I'm wrong for that, and I'm not mature enough to have this conversation.
He starts off by munching down some popcorn.
The abuse really started when I was about 8. The food stuff had started before then. But the sexual abuse really only started about 8 or 9. It was after Dad got sick.
And he then has to cover his mouth with his shirt. He then eventually goes and gets a box to place over his head to hide his amusement with the whole situation. Again, I know we're all supposed to like laugh at Boogie, but this is honestly where I feel like it starts to go too far. Despite all of his manipulative bullshit and all of the fucked up things he's done over the past month, there just doesn't feel like any reason that anyone needs to be watching this. Just my opinion, of course, but yeah, really not the content for me. There are a couple of other things of interest though. Boogie mentions plans on selling his house and moving to a town called Branson. We also saw Boogie apparently spend the last $3,000 in his bank account on a donation to St. Jude's Cancer Hospital. This is because Boogie had sent Keem his golden play button, something he wanted to be buried with. Keem said if Boogie donated his $3,000 bank balance, he would happily send back the play button, and Boogie does it.
Like, having no money for food or lights or anything like that is destroying your mental health. He might make more mistakes because of this action that he's doing right now, just because he wants something he worked hard on back. I can understand. One of my goals in life was to get a gold play button, which I might never get because I'm a terrible content creator.
Check your text.
But like, getting him to do this makes you a bad person.
I'll take it.
Holy shit, he already did it. He donated $3,000 to St. Jude. He really did it.
But whether this was actually the last of his bank balance is just a whole other story. But honestly, huge L if Kim sends that play button back in my opinion. As the stream wraps up, Muda and Metacode said to Boogie that they think he's going to charge back the donation when he gets off stream, which really sends him into a panic attack. But Kim wasn't finished yet though, as Boogie hadn't read the trollsome and abusive super chats yet, which Kim makes him do.
They don't believe me.
Oh my God, stop it. Get to the donos. Any donation, 20 or more that happened tonight, read it for the chat. This is part of the goddamn punishment.
Trying. Give me a minute. I'm in the middle of a severe panic attack, okay? I'm trying really hard.
Why? You did a good thing tonight. You donated to charity. Why would you have a panic attack?
They're going to tell people I didn't. They're going to tell people I lied. Frank Castle is my favorite content creator. I like endorsing everything he does, says Frank. FR842. And, oh, sorry, that's only $2.
Kim encourages Boogie to read the super chats a little louder and he begins screaming them. Kim gives him positive affirmations as he goes, and this just literally ends in tears.
Hear you, you're mumbling.
Yes, I'm in the middle of a very severe panic attack.
Okay, let's take a moment. Big breaths. You ready? With me.
Leah, something says.
Wait.
Leah, stop it! Leah, stop it!
I think your mic settings are wrong because we can't hear you. Even that screaming and yelling.
Sam Boogie, make him pay the 3K and now the play button to Metagar! Leah, something! Thank you for your donation!
Thank you, Leah something. We appreciate you.
Kid behind the camera, that wings joke landed! Give him the whole 20!
There we go, buddy.
Medical assassinate rape victims and cancer patients all around the world. Thank you, Steven!
Yeah, let them know. Let them know. We got real donations coming in here. Number 1 on YouTube. Let them know, Boogie.
No, Scout! Boogie, keep your chin up, man. You'll get through this. We all go through the storm sometimes. Fault sees us through it. Thank you!
Look, that was inspirational. They had your back.
I don't care! I don't care! I just want to get through it! I don't care! Let me get through it!
You got this, bro.
Shut up!
You're doing good.
Shut the fuck up!
Kim says go off Queen, and this sends Boogie completely over the edge, who proceeds to have a full-on meltdown, which results in the power to his computer being cut, presumably by his roommate.
Jay Hawker says, Boogie, if you truly love Desi, you would break up with her. If she has the issues you said, she's being with you is going to make it worse, not better. You're going to mess her up. Well, she and her family disagrees, but go off, I guess. Big man on dick. Buy a hat for your hat.
Let him know. Go off, Queen. Go off, Queen.
I'm not interested. Just let me get through it, Dan.
You got this.
Matt, stop the fuck up! Let me get through it! Matt Sales says, so only people that aren't capable of refusing his testimony are allowed to be discussed. If they are dead, they're fair game. This is why, Dan, I told you I couldn't talk about this, man.
You can do this.
So I told you, no, I can't. I told you I couldn't talk about this.
You knocked this out of the park.
I begged you not to make me talk about this on the show. I begged you.
You crushed it.
I begged you. I begged you. I begged you, Dan. I begged you.
You crushed it. You did very good tonight.
I begged you.
You did. What's going on over there? You did fine. I think you broke your computer. Hello? Are you there? Oh my God. I think his roommate cut off the power. Oh no. I think the roommate cut off the power. Remember how the roommate and the girlfriend, remember how they were watching the power switch where if he lost it, they were just going to unplug it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, we'll get Boogie on next time to read the rest of the donations. What do I even say? What can I say that hasn't been said before? I can really only think of one thing that truly hasn't been said before. And that would be, Boogie, thanks for the play button. Are you sure it's your birthday? Because I think it's mine.
Well, Boogie lied. He lied too many times. He said he had cancer, but it was actually a lie.
I pegged you, Dan! I pegged you! This ending is just something else. Boogie is forcibly removed from the show after having a mental breakdown, and Kim is just like, well, Boogie will be back next time to finish the donos, and then played that fucking Boogie lied AI song as he flexes the play button. Pretty iconic moment, I gotta admit. I don't know though, like fucking bullshit aside, this whole stream was actually pretty weird. It starts off with Kim retelling a story where he was genuinely concerned about Boogie, claiming he had to call the police on him because he was worried he was going to kill himself over this childhood trauma stuff. Kim stated that he didn't want Boogie on the show, saying he wasn't in the right mental state and it just wasn't right. Boogie was completely fucked. But then Kim completely goes back on this, and Boogie is there doing just that. And then Kim couldn't even hold back laughter at some of the vile things that were being said, acting like a literal 15-year-old. The other thing is that Boogie isn't even supposed to be there. Him and Kim seem to have some sort of weird fucking humiliation fetish thing going on, where now he has to have Boogie on the show every episode to make a fool out of himself for free. I'm not trying to defend Boogie at all, I think Boogie's a piece of shit. But this stream it really felt like it crossed the line. It got really uncomfortable, and it turned from like, oh look, let's laugh at Boogie, to like, holy fuck, this is genuinely awful. Alright guys, so it's been a couple of days since I recorded this video, but something else did happen with Boogie, and it's too crazy not to mention. So earlier on, I mentioned Kim wanting to get Boogie to get a face tattoo that said liar, and he would be allowed back on the show if he did this, and Boogie actually went and did it. On the most recent LOLCAL live stream, Boogie is live in the tattoo parlor, and he gets the word liar tattooed on his cheek in pretty decently sized text.
I'm so getting canceled for this. I'm so getting canceled for this. Oh. All right, Boogie. For your final step, you need to take the L. Wait, is it done?
Is it? Yep, it's done.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
And we have 24,000 concurrent viewers. Boogie gets liar tattooed to his face after faking cancer.
I'm so glad we decided to go bigger. It is so much nicer looking.
Yeah, it looks good. It actually looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can rock it, man.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Get better. You can rock it.
After doing this, Kim welcomes Boogie back to the show with open arms. Boogie starts acting like all of his sins have been cleared, and he's clearly in a more upbeat mood than the previous shows.
I think the most important thing that you did with all this, right, is you did what you're supposed to do. You entertained a lot of people.
Yeah, you know, and that's something I really thought about last night. Keemstar hated this when I told him earlier, but I had therapy yesterday, and this is what we talked about, the tattoo and the situation and everything else, and it allowed me to feel better about this. I realized Keem was right about one thing. This is fucking entertaining, man. This is funny. This is funny. This is not how I expected to spend my 50th birthday. It's my birthday. I turned 50 today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Boogie's 50th birthday.
So Boogie, do you ever feel like...
Show us your face for your birthday.
Happy birthday to me.
Now again, like I already felt like with the last LOLCAL live stream with all the childhood abuse shit, it all feels like this has gone too far. I get the tattoo idea is supposed to be funny, and it's mildly amusing, and, you know, we're supposed to punish Boogie for all of the shit that he's done, but Kim telling Boogie if he gets a face tattoo that says liar, he's allowed back on the show, it just feels wrong. In defense of Kim though, he did try and shut the idea down out of fear of being cancelled for it, but Boogie wanted to go ahead and do it anyway. But the only reason Boogie went through with it, at least from what I can gather from all of this, is because Kim would let him back on the show, and he wouldn't have to deal with any more of these weird punishments anymore. In this stream, Kim mentions that he'd put a social media ban on Boogie, and it was now being lifted and he was free to post on his platforms again.
I fucking deserve this. I fucked up, man. I really fucked up. And, you know, this is going to allow me to forgive myself. Yeah, if anybody else decides to forgive me, that's great too, and I hope some of you do, but, you know, this is about just, like, feeling better about myself, because I felt like shit about this, man. I feel so bad.
All right, well, I think we are going to remove the social media ban. You can now use your Twitter. You can use your YouTube channel. All right?
He then claims it was all an elaborate plan to get Boogie to improve his life and disguise his genuine advice as punishment.
You don't understand the reasons why I told you the things that I told you, but your punishment of staying offline was for your own mental health, but I made it seem like it was a punishment and you were going to do it or you weren't getting back on the show. I disguised it that way because you were at a point where you actually lost everything. And do I think that you're going to off yourself? No. Do I know that you manipulate with that? I'm not fooled by the audience with that, but I knew that you were actually really.
Now, I get where Keem's coming from, but in all fairness, what authority does he have to make that call? Why is he just seemingly taking control over Boogie's life? It's a little weird. I think he just wants to milk Boogie for as much content as possible because of how much the LOLCAL live viewership increased from the whole situation. Keem made a tweet about how Boogie can only be cured by bullying him into self-improvement, which, yeah, I ain't rude and all that. I get the point that's being made, but I really don't know. I really just think Boogie should be cut loose and left to figure his own shit out. Quit enabling the guy and leave it be. I don't really know what more can be said. That's all for this video today. I think for at least now, this will be the final Boogie video. Unless the guy fucking dies or something, I don't see there being much more here. It's just gonna be more bullshit from Keem trying to milk him for content. My name has been Stonic10. If you liked, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back in the next one.
I bet you, Dan! I bet you!